Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad you're here today because we're going to talk about something very important, something that many of us have faced when learning a new language. Can you guess what it is? Yes, we're going to talk about overcoming the fear of speaking English. If you've ever felt nervous, shy, or even scared to speak English, let me tell you one thing. You're not alone. Almost every English learner experiences this fear at some point. Maybe you're worried about making mistakes, or you're afraid that others might judge you. Perhaps you feel like your pronunciation isn't perfect, or you're scared that you might forget what to say. These feelings are very normal, believe me. Even fluent speakers have moments of doubt, but here's the good news. This fear can be overcome. Yes, it's possible to go from feeling anxious to speaking with confidence. And guess what? You don't have to be perfect to start. The truth is, learning to speak a language is a journey, and every step you take brings you closer to fluency. So, what can you expect from this video? By the end of it, you'll feel more confident about speaking English, and you'll have practical, easy-to-follow strategies to help you break free from that fear. You'll learn how to practice effectively, how to approach mistakes, and how to build your confidence step by step. Here's a little preview. We'll explore why we're often afraid to speak English and how to understand those feelings. You'll discover the power of practice and repetition in building confidence. I'll share practical tips for boosting your self-assurance when speaking English, and we'll talk about how to create a safe environment to practice because feeling supported is key to success. Before we dive in, I want to quickly remind you that this channel is here to help you learn, grow, and succeed. If you find my content helpful and want to support me, consider joining the channel as a member. Your support allows me to dedicate more time to creating quality content for you. Content that's fun, educational, and full of useful tips. Plus, it helps me continue improving the channel and bringing even more exciting resources your way. So, thank you to everyone who has already joined, and thank you in advance if you're thinking about joining today. Now, are you ready to take that first step towards speaking English with confidence? Let's get started. Chapter 1. Why are we afraid to speak English? Let's start by addressing an important question. Why do so many of us feel afraid to speak English? This fear comes from several common reasons, and understanding these reasons is the first step toward overcoming them. Let's break them down. 1. Fear of making mistakes. One of the biggest reasons we're afraid is the thought of making mistakes. You might worry, what if I say the wrong word? What if my grammar is wrong? What if I pronounce something incorrectly? This fear can feel paralyzing and make us hesitant to speak at all. But here's an important truth. Mistakes are a natural part of learning. Think about a child learning to walk. They don't stop trying just because they fall down. They get up and try again. Learning a language is exactly the same. Mistakes are not failures, they are opportunities to grow. 2. Fear of being judged. Another common fear is worrying about what other people will think. You might imagine someone laughing at your pronunciation or giving you a strange look. This can feel intimidating, especially if you're speaking with fluent or native speakers. But let me tell you something. Most people are not judging you at all. In fact, many people admire the effort it takes to learn and speak a new language. Instead of focusing on imaginary criticism, remind yourself that you're doing something amazing, something many people are too afraid to even try. 3. Fear of not knowing what to say. Have you ever been in a situation where you're asked a question in English and your mind goes blank? This happens because we put so much pressure on ourselves to be perfect. We want the perfect sentence, the perfect word, or the perfect reply, and when we can't think of one, we feel stuck. But guess what? Even native speakers struggle to find words sometimes. They pause, they use filler words like and and they take their time to think. It's completely okay to do the same, normalizing these feelings. The good news is that these feelings are entirely normal. Almost everyone experiences them, whether they're learning English or another skill. Even fluent English speakers feel nervous in some situations, like giving a presentation or speaking to someone important. Here's something important to remember. Fear doesn't mean you're not good at English. It just means you're human. Every time you face this fear and choose to speak anyway, you're making progress. Over time, the fear gets smaller and your confidence gets bigger. Let me leave you with this thought. Perfection is not the goal. Communication is. Your English doesn't have to be perfect to be powerful. It's okay to make mistakes, and it's okay to feel nervous. What matters is that you try, learn, and keep improving. So, are you ready to face your fears and move forward? Let's dive into how you can practice speaking English in a way that feels safe and enjoyable. Chapter 2. The Power of Practice and Repetition. Now that we've talked about why we're afraid to speak English, let's explore how to overcome that fear. The secret: practice and repetition. Why practice is so powerful. Have you ever noticed that the more you do something, the less scary it feels? Speaking English works the same way. At first, it might feel awkward or uncomfortable, but with time, it becomes second nature. Think about when you first learned to ride a bike. At first, you were nervous, you probably wobbled and even fell, but the more you practiced, the steadier you became. Eventually, riding a bike felt natural and you didn't even have to think about it. That's exactly how practice works when learning to speak English. The key is repetition. Every time you practice, you're strengthening your brain's English muscles. The more you repeat, the easier and more natural it becomes. How practice helps overcome fear. 1. Familiarity builds confidence. When you practice regularly, you become familiar with common phrases and patterns. This familiarity helps you feel prepared, paid in real conversations, which reduces fear. Instead of thinking, "What do I say?" your brain goes, "Oh, I know this." 2. Mistakes become learning opportunities. With practice, mistakes stop feeling like failures and start feeling like part of the process. You learn from them and move on, and over time, those mistakes become fewer and fewer. 3. Small wins boost your motivation. Each time you say a word correctly or use a new phrase, you're making progress. These small wins build your confidence, showing you that improvement is possible. Simple exercises to practice speaking. Let's look at some easy ways to practice speaking English. Talk out loud to yourself. Describe what you're doing during the day. I'm cooking breakfast now, or I'm going to the store. Say your thoughts out loud in English. Even simple sentences are helpful, like, "It's sunny today," or "I feel happy." Record yourself speaking. Pick a short paragraph or a few sentences to read aloud and record yourself. Listen to the recording, notice areas to improve, and try again. This lets you hear how you sound and track your progress over time. Use language apps. Apps like Duolingo, Hello Talk, or Camp let you practice speaking in fun and interactive ways. Try using these apps for 5 to 10 minutes daily to make speaking English part of your routine. Repeat phrases after native speakers. Watch a video or listen to an audio clip, then pause and repeat what you hear. Focus on matching the pronunciation and intonation. This mimics the way babies learn to copy sounds. Practice with simple role plays. Imagine you're ordering food at a restaurant or introducing yourself to someone. Practice these scenarios out loud. Role-playing makes you feel prepared for real-life conversations. Consistency is the key. Even 5 to 10 minutes a day can make a huge difference over time. Remember, you don't have to be perfect. You just have to keep practicing. Let me share a simple but powerful reminder. Practice makes progress. The more you practice, the more confident you'll feel and the less fear you'll have. Mistakes will become stepping stones, and words that once felt difficult will roll off your tongue naturally. Let's move to the next chapter, where we'll discuss specific strategies to boost your confidence when speaking. Ready? Let's go. Chapter 3. Tips to boost confidence. Now that you understand why you might feel afraid and how practice helps, let's dive into strategies to boost your confidence when speaking English. These tips are practical and designed to help you feel at ease. 1. Start small and build your confidence. One of the best ways to boost your confidence is to begin with simple tasks that feel achievable. Think of these as warm-up exercises for your English speaking skills. Speak with someone you trust. Find a friend, family member, or teacher who supports you. When you know the person won't judge you, it's much easier to speak up. For example, share your daily routine. I woke up at 7:00 a.m. and had breakfast. Practice small talk. How was your day? If you don't have someone to practice with, apps like Hello Talk or Tandem connect you with language learners and friendly native speakers. Stick to simple sentences. There's no need to use long or complicated phrases. For instance, instead of saying, "Yesterday I wanted to go to the supermarket, but it was raining, so I decided to stay at home and read a book," say, "Yesterday it rained. I stayed home and read." Over time, as your confidence grows, you can expand your vocabulary in sentences. 2. Use scripts to prepare. Feeling nervous in certain situations, like introducing yourself or asking for help? Prepare and practice scripts for common scenarios. For example, introducing yourself. "Hi, my name is Sarah. I'm learning English and love to read books." ordering food. Can I have a cheeseburger, please? Practice these sentences out loud multiple times. When the situation arises, your words will feel natural and ready. 3. Celebrate small wins. Confidence grows when you acknowledge and celebrate your progress, no matter how small. For example, did you use a new word today? Awesome. Did you manage to hold a short conversation? Amazing. Reward yourself for these achievements, even if it's just with a kind word like, I did it, or I'm improving. 4. Control your inner critic. Often, fear of speaking comes from negative self-talk. Replace these thoughts with encouragement. Instead of, I'll make mistakes and sound silly, think, making mistakes is how I learn. Instead of, my English isn't good enough, say, every day, my English gets better. 5. Practice positive visualization before speaking. Close your eyes and imagine yourself confidently talking in English. Picture the words flowing easily, the person smiling, and the conversation going well. This technique helps you feel calm and prepared. 6. Set small, achievable goals. Breaking your learning journey into small goals makes the process manageable. Goal for today. Say 3 sentences in English. Goal for the week. Learn and use 5 new words in conversation. Over time, these little steps add up, and you'll notice your confidence skyrocketing. 7. Focus on communication, not perfection. Remember, your goal is to communicate, not to sound perfect. People will appreciate your effort, even if you make mistakes. Instead of worrying about grammar, focus on getting your message across. For example, don't stress if you say, she eat pizza, instead of she eats pizza. The main point is, people will still understand you. A quick confidence-boosting exercise. Here's an activity to try right now. Choose one phrase in English. For example, hi, how are you? Say it out loud 3 times, slowly and clearly. Smile while speaking. This naturally makes you feel more relaxed and confident. Try this phrase with someone today. By starting small, using simple sentences, and focusing on communication over perfection, you'll slowly but surely gain confidence. Remember, everyone's learning journey is different. Celebrate your progress and don't compare yourself to others. In the next chapter, we'll tackle ways to overcome fear step by step and learn how to stay calm during real conversations. Keep going. Chapter 4. Creating a safe speaking environment. Feeling safe and comfortable is essential to improve your English speaking skills. If you can practice in an environment where you don't feel judged or rushed, your confidence will grow naturally. Let's explore some simple ways to create or find that safe space for yourself. 1. Join language clubs or groups. Language clubs and groups are excellent for meeting people who are also learning English or who are happy to help others practice. Here's how to get started. Find local language meetups. Search for clubs in your area or events specifically for language learners. Apps like Meetup or websites like Eventbrite often list such gatherings. Join online language communities. Platforms like Discord, Facebook, or Reddit have communities dedicated to practicing English. You'll find many learners who face the same challenges and understand your journey. Why does it help? These clubs are non-judgmental spaces where everyone supports each other. The focus is on improvement, not perfection. 2. Practice with friends or family. Do you have friends or family members who are also learning English? Practicing together is an excellent way to feel safe while improving. Share goals. Work together to achieve small goals like holding a 5-minute conversation or practicing a list of new words. Correct one another kindly. Use phrases like, "I think this way sounds better," instead of pointing out errors too directly. If you don't have a peer to practice with, consider practicing with children if available. They're often curious, non-judgmental, and fun to talk to. 3. Find patient partners if possible. Connect with someone who already speaks English and is happy to help. Here's how to find the right partner. Language exchange platforms, apps like HelloTalk, italki, or Conversation Exchange, pair learners with fluent speakers. Many of these exchanges are free, and you can help them with your native language in return. Choose the right partner. Look for someone who is encouraging and understands that you're learning. A patient partner will correct you gently and cheer for your progress. 4. Practice in low-stakes situations. Sometimes, speaking in high-pressure situations like at work or school can feel intimidating. Start practicing in low-pressure settings where it's okay to make mistakes. Order at a cafe or restaurant. Start with simple phrases like, "Can I have a coffee, please?" Talk to yourself in front of a mirror. Practicing solo can help reduce anxiety before speaking with others. 5. Use technology to create a safe zone. If you're not comfortable speaking with people yet, use apps and tools to simulate conversations or get feedback. Record yourself. Use your phone to record yourself speaking, then play it back. Focus on improving pronunciation without being too self-critical. Speech recognition apps, apps like Google Translate or Elsa Speak, can give you feedback on how clear your pronunciation is. Virtual language partners. Try practicing with chatbots like those on Duolingo or Speak AI, which allow you to converse without fear of judgment. 6. Be honest about your level when speaking with others, especially those who are fluent. Don't hesitate to mention that you're still learning. Most people are understanding and will slow down, use simpler words, or avoid complex grammar. For example, you can say, "I'm practicing my English. Can we speak slowly? If I make a mistake, please correct me nicely." 7. Look for supportive communities. Many online and offline groups exist specifically to encourage and uplift language learners. YouTube comment sections. Many creators have interactive communities where viewers practice English by leaving comments. Learning groups on WhatsApp or Telegram. Join or create a small group where learners share tips, practice questions, or even fun challenges. Creating a safe environment doesn't mean you'll never feel nervous, but finding people in places where you feel supported will make speaking a lot less stressful. Remember, mistakes are natural. Every single one of us, including native speakers, makes them. The goal isn't perfection, it's making progress while feeling comfortable in your efforts. Chapter 5. Celebrating Progress. One of the best ways to stay motivated while learning English is to recognize and celebrate your progress, no matter how small. Each step forward builds your confidence and keeps you excited to continue. Let's talk about how to monitor your growth and reward your efforts. 1. Keep track of your achievements. Seeing how far you've come can be incredibly encouraging. Here are simple ways to monitor your progress. Start a journal. Write down your goals and small wins in a notebook or on your phone. For example, today I ordered food in English for the first time. This journal becomes a reminder of your journey and a motivator when you face challenges. Use milestones. Break your learning into small, measurable steps, like learning 50 new words, speaking with someone in English for 5 minutes without switching languages, or completing one full podcast or video and understanding most of it. Record yourself. Record a short video or audio clip every week or month. Compare your older recordings with newer ones to hear the improvement in your pronunciation, vocabulary, and confidence. 2. Reward yourself. Learning English takes effort, and every effort deserves a reward. Celebrating accomplishments can keep your motivation high and help create positive associations with learning. Give yourself small treats after a practice session or reaching a goal. Treat yourself. Watch a favorite movie, maybe even in English. Enjoy your favorite snack or meal. Take a relaxing walk, or indulge in a hobby you enjoy. Plan bigger rewards for bigger goals. For major achievements like holding a long conversation in English or finishing an online course, reward yourself with something bigger. For example, buy a book, game, or other item you've been wanting, especially if it's in English. Celebrate with others. Share your wins with friends, family, or online communities. Hearing, "Wow, great job," can be a huge motivator. 3. Recognize progress beyond perfect scores. Progress isn't always about perfection. It's about effort and improvement. Learn to celebrate achievements that go beyond grammar or test results. Examples of progress to celebrate. You understood a conversation without asking for translations. You confidently asked for directions while traveling. You notice yourself using new words or phrases naturally in conversation. 4. Reflect on your journey. Take a moment to look back at where you started and where you are now. Growth can sometimes feel slow, but when you reflect, you'll see just how much you've improved. Ask yourself, how many new words have I learned this month? Can I now say things I couldn't before? Do I feel more confident speaking even if I still make mistakes? 5. Build confidence through recognition. Celebrate progress even when it feels small. It's these tiny steps that create big change over time. Remember, learning English is not just about reaching a final destination. It's about enjoying the journey and acknowledging each moment of success. Celebrating progress makes learning more fun and keeps you motivated to continue. When you reward your efforts and reflect on how far you've come, English becomes less of a challenge and more of an exciting adventure. We've reached the end of this journey, but this is just the beginning of your journey towards speaking English with confidence. Let's quickly recap and leave you with some motivation to take that next step. Remember, feeling nervous when speaking a new language is completely normal, but the fear doesn't stay forever. With consistent practice, small steps, and patience, you'll notice your confidence growing little by little. Think back to everything we talked about, understanding why we're afraid, practicing and repeating to build confidence, finding support in a safe environment, and celebrating every small success. Each of these steps is part of the process to becoming the confident English speaker you want to be. Each word you speak brings you closer to fluency. Fluency isn't about being perfect. It's about being able to express yourself and connect with others. Every sentence, even with mistakes, gets you closer. Every day of practice is a step forward, so don't let fear hold you back. Instead, use it as a signal that you're stepping out of your comfort zone, which is where growth happens. Learning and improving takes action. I have a few small steps you can take right now. Comment below. Let me know which tip you found most helpful in this video. Was it celebrating progress, practicing with someone patient, or something else? Practice today. Use one idea from this video today, whether it's recording your voice, labeling things in your home, or speaking with a trusted friend. If this video inspired you or helped you in any way, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. And if you want to help me create even more high-quality content, consider becoming a member of the channel. Your support allows me to dedicate more time and energy to providing tips, lessons, and strategies just like this. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Keep practicing and stay confident. You've got this. Have you ever wondered how babies learn to speak so naturally? They don't sit down with grammar books or stress over mistakes. It's all about listening, trying, and enjoying the process. What if you could use the same method to learn English? In this video, I'm going to show you how babies master their first language and how you can apply those same techniques to your English learning journey. Trust me, it's not magic. It's about understanding the process and making it simple and fun. Also, I want to take a moment to let you know that the join button is now available on this channel. If you'd like to support me in creating better content and dedicate even more time to helping you learn English, you can join my members community. Your support means so much and helps me improve the quality of the videos I make for you. Thank you again from the bottom of my heart. Now, let's dive in and learn English like a baby. Chapter 1. How do babies learn language? Let's start by understanding how babies learn their native language. It's actually a very natural process. Babies don't take grammar lessons or memorize vocabulary lists. Instead, they do something very simple. They listen. From the moment they're born, babies are surrounded by language. They hear their parents and family members talk, and their brains absorb all the sounds, words, and patterns they hear. Even though they can't speak at first, they're already starting to understand. It's all about repetition and exposure. Babies hear the same words and phrases many times in different contexts. For example, They might hear someone say, "Here's your bottle," every time they're about to drink milk. Over time, they connect the word bottle to the object itself. The key here is that babies don't worry about grammar rules or making mistakes. They just listen, try to imitate, and learn from their surroundings. Think of your brain like a sponge, soaking up everything it hears. That's exactly how babies learn, and it's a strategy you can use too. By focusing on listening and exposing yourself to English regularly, you can train your brain to recognize patterns just like a baby does. So, let's see how you can apply this to your own learning journey. Chapter 2. What is comprehensible input? Now let's talk about a powerful concept for language learning: comprehensible input. Input. This is the idea of listening to or reading material that is just a little bit above your current level. It's not so difficult that it feels impossible, but it challenges you to grow and learn. Imagine this. When babies hear the word apple, they're usually looking at an apple or seeing someone hold one. This connection between the word and the object makes it easier for them to understand. The context helps everything make sense. As a learner, you can do the same thing. For example, watch kids' shows or videos with simple vocabulary. They're designed to be easy to understand and often use visuals to help you follow along. Listen to audio while reading subtitles that match what you hear. This allows you to connect the sounds to the written words and understand them more easily. The magic of comprehensible input is in the context. It allows you to absorb language naturally. When you see, hear, and experience things in English, your brain starts to make those connections just like a baby's brain. The key is to find material that feels slightly challenging, but not frustrating. That's where you'll grow the most. If you stay consistent and keep exposing yourself to input, you can mostly understand. You'll see progress over time, just as babies do when they hear their first words. Next, let's look at how to apply this idea to your everyday learning. Chapter 3. Replicating baby steps as adults. Now that we understand how babies learn and the power of comprehensible input, let's break down how you can replicate their learning process step by step as an adult. Step 1. Listen first. Babies spend months just listening to the people around them before they even attempt to speak. You can do the same by immersing yourself in English every day. Choose content that feels interesting and not overwhelming. Podcasts made for beginners or intermediate learning. These often use slow and clear speech, simple stories like fairy tales or children's books. Listening while reading along is a great way to enhance comprehension. YouTube channels with videos tailored to English learners find topics you enjoy so that learning feels fun, not like a chore. The more you surround yourself with English, the more natural it will start to sound. Even if you don't understand every word, your brain will start recognizing patterns, rhythms, and common expressions. Step 2. Imitate sounds. After months of listening, babies don't immediately start forming sentences. They babble, they mimic the sounds they hear without worrying about mistakes. As an adult, this might feel silly at first, but it's incredibly effective. Try repeating words or phrases you hear in videos or conversations. Pay attention to pronunciation and tone. Focus on copying the rhythm and flow of sentences, even if you don't understand every word. Use resources like songs or short audio clips. Pause and imitate the speaker several times until it feels natural. This step is about building confidence and training your mouth to produce sounds that might not exist in your native language. Think of it as language exercise. Practice strengthens your muscles. Step 3. Respond without pressure. Babies don't use perfect grammar when they start speaking. They focus on reacting and getting their message across, even if it's not perfect. Adults can do the same. When watching videos or listening to audio, try answering simple questions or predicting what comes next during casual conversations. Don't overthink. React naturally, even if your sentences are short or grammatically imperfect. Use filler phrases like, "I'm not sure," or "Can you repeat that?" to buy time and stay engaged in a conversation. Remember, the goal is communication, not perfection. Every small response builds confidence and fluency over time. Practice tips. Start small, perhaps 10 minutes of listening and 5 minutes of imitation each day. Gradually increase your time as you feel more comfortable. Learning English like a baby doesn't mean rushing. It means building skills slowly and steadily, one small habit at a time. Now that we've explored these steps, we'll dive deeper into creating a routine that makes these habits easy to follow. Let's move on. Chapter 4. Overcoming Challenges. Learning English as an adult might not feel as effortless as it does for babies. Unlike them, we tend to overthink, compare ourselves to others, and feel embarrassed about making mistakes. Let's address those challenges and how you can overcome them. Acknowledging the frustration. It's normal to feel frustrated at times. You might listen to something and think, "Why can't I understand this?" Speaking might feel intimidating, especially in front of others. Remember, babies don't feel self-conscious. They try, fail, and try again, all without worrying about how they sound. We can learn from this mindset by being kinder to ourselves. Encouragement. Mistakes are not failures, they're stepping stones. Think of mistakes as feedback showing you what to improve. If you said something wrong, now you know how to say it right next time. Nobody expects perfection, especially when you're learning. Native speakers admire the effort and courage it takes to learn a new language. Start small and be patient. You don't need to become fluent overnight. Start with small steps, just like babies do. Practice listening to one short video or audio clip a day. Try saying 1 or 2 sentences in English when talking to yourself or others. Celebrate every little win, like understanding a new word or saying a complete sentence without hesitation. Patience is key. Babies take years to become fluent in their native language, so allow yourself time to grow, and improve. Every bit of effort adds up over weeks and months. You're not just learning a language, you're building a bridge to new opportunities and experiences. Mistakes and frustrations are just part of the journey, and they will make your success even sweeter. Let's keep going. In the next section, I'll guide you on how to create a routine that makes learning English simple and consistent. Chapter 5. Practical tips to apply daily. Creating a habit of learning English doesn't have to be difficult or time-consuming. Small daily actions done consistently can lead to significant improvements over time. Let's explore a few simple yet powerful tips you can start using today. Watch 10 minutes of simple English videos daily. Spend just 10 minutes watching videos designed for learners, such as children's shows, basic YouTube tutorials, or short stories. Focus on understanding the context, even if you don't know every word. Repeat key phrases or words you hear. This helps you internalize pronunciation and sentence structure. Label items at home in English. Make your home an immersive environment by labeling common objects like doors, windows, tables, and appliances with sticky notes in English. Every time you see the word mirror or fridge, you're reinforcing your vocabulary without extra effort. Practice repeating words or short phrases aloud. Choose simple phrases like, "How are you today?" or "I would like some coffee, please." Say them out loud multiple times, mimicking how native speakers would say them. Don't worry about making mistakes. Practice is what counts. Find a partner for basic conversations. Practice with someone who is also learning English or even a native speaker willing to help. Keep the conversation simple. Greet each other, talk about your day, or describe your surroundings. Practicing with someone keeps you accountable and builds your confidence. The power of consistency. Consistency is what turns small actions into big results. Think of learning English as planting a seed. If you water it a little every day, it will grow strong and steady over time. Set a daily goal that feels doable, whether it's learning 3 words or practicing for 15 minutes. It's not about how much you do in one day, it's about doing a little every day. These tiny steps create a strong foundation for long-term success. Let's quickly review what we've learned today. First, listen to English as much as you can, just like babies do. Then, imitate the sounds and phrases you hear to train your speaking skills. Don't be afraid to respond, even if it's not perfect. Communication is the goal. Finally, embrace mistakes as part of the learning process. They're not failures, but steps toward improvement. Learning English like a baby doesn't mean it's easy, but it's natural. It's about being patient and consistent. And trust me, it works. Start today. Choose one simple habit to try. Maybe watching a short video, labeling items in English, or repeating key phrases. What step will you take first? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear about your journey. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel to keep growing your English skills with me. And if you'd like to support me directly and help me create even more high-quality content, join my channel as a member. Your support means so much and allows me to dedicate more time to helping you succeed. Thank you. Let's make English learning part of your everyday life, step by step, habit by habit. See you in the next video. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to talk about something very important. How to improve your English. Learning English can feel difficult sometimes, but don't worry, it's possible for everyone. Even small steps can make a big difference. Today, I'll share 5 easy tips that you can use every day to get better at speaking, listening, and understanding English. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear plan to improve your skills. So let's get started with tip number 1. Tip 1. Practice listening every day. Listen. Listening is one of the best ways to improve your English. Why? Because when you listen, you learn how words are pronounced, how sentences are made, and even how people use intonation. You don't need to listen for hours every day. Start small, just 10 to 15 minutes. Here are some ideas for what you can do. Watch English videos. Choose something fun, like short YouTube videos or cartoons. Make sure they have simple vocabulary so you can understand. Listen to English songs. Pick songs with clear lyrics, listen, and try to sing along. Use apps or podcasts. Apps like Duolingo or Podcast for Beginners are great for listening to simple conversations in English. When you listen, don't worry if you don't understand every word. Focus on the main idea and keep going. The more you listen, the easier it will become. Now that you know why listening is important, let's move on to the second tip. Tip 2. Speak as much as you can. Speaking is one of the hardest parts of learning English, but it's also one of the most important. The good news is, you don't need a classroom or a teacher to start speaking. Here are some easy ways to practice speaking every day. Talk to yourself. You can practice English by talking to yourself. For example, when you wake up, say, "I will make breakfast now," or "Today is sunny, I will go outside." This helps you build confidence and think in English. Find a language partner. If you know someone who speaks English, practice with them. It could be a friend, a family member, or even someone online. Many apps like Hello Talk or Tandem can help you find people who want to practice with you. Use simple sentences. Don't worry about using big, complicated words. Start with short, simple sentences like, "I like pizza," "I'm watching a movie," "I went to the park yesterday." Copy native speakers. Watch a short video in English and try to copy how the speaker talks. Repeat the sentences out loud. For example, if someone says, "How are you today?" you say it in the same tone and speed. This will help improve your pronunciation and rhythm. Record yourself. Take your phone, press record, and say a few sentences in English. Then listen to it. You will notice areas to improve, and it's a great way to measure your progress. Remember, speaking is about communication, not perfection. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Every mistake helps you learn. Tip 3. Listen every day. Listening to English every day is one of the best ways to improve your skills. It helps you learn how words are pronounced and how sentences flow. You also learn new vocabulary without even trying. Here are some simple ways to listen daily. Watch movies or videos in English. Choose movies, TV shows, or YouTube videos that match your level. For beginners, try watching cartoons or videos with clear and slow speech. Use subtitles at first, and then try without them when you feel confident. Listen to songs. Music is a fun way to learn English. Choose simple songs, listen carefully, and try to sing along. Use podcasts or audiobooks. There are many podcasts made for people learning English. Try listening to 10 to 15 minutes every day. Some great podcasts include the English We Speak or ESL pod. Audiobooks for children are also great for learners. Listen while doing other things. You don't need to sit and focus all the time. You can listen to English while walking, cleaning, or cooking. This way, English becomes a part of your daily routine. Repeat what you hear. If you hear a sentence you like, pause and repeat it. For example, if the speaker says, "Let's go to the park," repeat it with the same speed and tone. This practice improves your accent and fluency. Key tip: don't worry if you don't understand everything. Just focus on the sounds and the words you do know. Over time, your understanding will grow. Tip 4. Practice speaking every day. Speaking is the most important skill when learning English, but it can also be the hardest. Don't worry. Practice makes progress. Here are some easy ways to practice speaking every day. Talk to yourself. Yes, it sounds funny, but it works. Describe what you're doing. I'm brushing my teeth. I'm going to the store. This helps you get used to forming sentences in English. Find a speaking partner. Look for someone to practice with. It could be a friend, a classmate, or even someone online. Apps like Hello Talk or Tandem can help you find people who want to practice English. Repeat phrases aloud. When you hear an interesting phrase, say it out loud. For example, if you watch a video and the speaker says, "I like to cook in my free time," pause and repeat it. Try to copy their tone and speed. Use English in simple conversations. If you're in a restaurant, practice ordering food in English. "I would like a coffee, please," or say something in English to your family or friends. Even short sentences can help. Record yourself. Use your phone to record your voice while speaking English. Listen to it and check for mistakes. Over time, you'll hear yourself improving, which feels amazing. Key tip: don't worry about being perfect. Focus on communicating your idea. Mistakes are part of learning and show you're trying. Tip 5. Make learning fun and creative. Learning English doesn't have to be boring. The more enjoyable it is, the faster you'll improve. Let's explore some fun and creative ways to practice English every day. Watch movies and shows in English. Choose a movie or series you like. Start with subtitles in your native language, and when you feel ready, switch to English subtitles. Eventually, challenge yourself to watch without subtitles. Pay attention to how characters speak and repeat interesting phrases. Play games in English. There are many games and apps designed to improve English skills. You can also play regular games like word searches, crossword puzzles, or even role-playing video games that require reading and listening in English. Write your own stories or journal. Try keeping a daily journal in English. Write about your day, your plans, or even imaginary stories. For example, today I went to the park. The weather was sunny, and I saw a dog playing with a ball. Use English on social media. Follow English-speaking accounts on platforms like Instagram, TikTok, or YouTube. Comment on their posts in English, even if it's something simple like "great video" or "I agree with this idea." Key tip: enjoy the process. The more you associate learning English with fun activities, the more motivated you'll be to practice. Now you have 5 great tips to improve your English. Start with 1 or 2 that you like the most, and add more as you go. Practice every day, and you'll see progress in no time. Learning English can be a rewarding and exciting journey. Remember, it's okay to start small and make mistakes along the way. They are part of the process. Let's recap the 5 tips we covered. Practice every day, even for a few minutes. Surround yourself with English by listening and reading. Speak without fear, focusing on communication. Find a practice partner or join a group. Make learning fun with creative activities like watching movies or playing games. Each of these tips will help you build confidence, improve your skills, and make learning enjoyable. Learning a language is not about being perfect. It's about making progress. Celebrate each step, no matter how small. Remember, with time, patience, and effort, you can achieve your goals. Tell me in the comments which tip you will start using today. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, share with your friends, and subscribe to the channel. Together, we can make learning English fun and effective. Let's keep practicing and improving together. See you in the next video. Hello everyone, and welcome to another video. Today we're diving into an exciting and fun way to improve your English learning with movies. Have you ever thought about how movies can help you speak better English? Watching films isn't just entertainment, it's a powerful learning tool. Think about it. You're exposed to real, natural, spoken English. You can hear how words are pronounced, and you can even pick up some expressions or cultural insights along the way. In this video, I'll show you how to make the most of movies to improve your English step by step. We'll go from choosing the right movie to practicing your new skills in everyday life. By the end of this video, you'll know how to turn your movie nights into productive learning sessions and enjoy the process too. Ready to get started? Let's go. Why movies? Let's start by answering the question, why are movies such a great tool for learning English? Movies provide an immersive experience where you can hear English as it's naturally spoken. Unlike textbooks or traditional lessons, movies include accents, emotions, and real-life situations. You get to hear how English is actually used by native speakers. Think about the variety of voices you encounter in a movie. Young characters, older characters, people speaking casually, and sometimes even formal English. It's a mix of everything you might encounter in the real world. And yes, sometimes it's challenging, but that's what makes it exciting and valuable. Benefits of learning English with movies: improved listening skills. When you watch a movie, your ears get used to the rhythm, tone, and flow of the language. You learn how words blend together in conversation, better pronunciation and accent. By hearing native speakers, you can mimic how they say words. Pay attention to their lips, the movement of their mouth, and the emphasis on certain syllables. Expanded vocabulary. Movies expose you to a broad range of words and phrases, from casual slang to specific terms related to the movie's context, like sports, medical drama, or even fantasy. Cultural understanding. Watching movies is like stepping into another culture. You can see traditions, customs, and body language that help you understand the English-speaking world. Beyond just the words, another reason to love movies is that they're entertaining. If you're enjoying what you're watching, learning won't feel like a chore. That's the magic of combining fun with education. You'll feel motivated to keep learning. Movies also bring a sense of accomplishment. Imagine watching a film in English today and recognizing a new word or phrase you just learned. It's such a rewarding feeling and reminds you that you're making progress. So, as you can see, movies are not only fun, but also a treasure trove of learning opportunities. Now, the next step is figuring out which movies are best for learning English. Let's dive into that. Choosing the right movie. Not all movies are created equal when it comes to learning English. The movie you choose can make or break your learning experience, so let's talk about how to pick the perfect one for your English practice. Step 1. Choose a genre you enjoy. First, ask yourself, what do you like to watch? Action, comedy, drama. Pick a genre that excites you, because if you're interested in the story, you're more likely to stay engaged and motivated. Learning feels much easier when you're enjoying the content. For example, if you love romantic comedies, try a classic like Notting Hill. If you're into adventure, maybe start with Jumanji. Enjoy what you watch. Step 2. Start simple. If you're just starting, avoid movies with heavy SL, playing fast-paced dialogue or complicated plots. Animated movies or family-friendly films often use clear and simple English, making them perfect for learners. Try classics like Finding Nemo or The Lion King. Also, avoid movies with too many accents or regional dialects at first. Stick to something with a more neutral standard accent to ease into English listening. Step 3. Use subtitles wisely. Start with subtitles in your native language. If you're a beginner, as you improve, switch to English subtitles to challenge yourself further. This helps you connect spoken words to their written form, which can be a powerful learning tool. Pro tip: don't be afraid to pause and rewind if something is unclear. Take your time. It's about learning, not rushing. Step 4. Research before you watch. If you're unsure about a movie, watch the trailer or read a brief summary. Websites like IMDb or Rotten Tomatoes can help you see if the movie's language is appropriate for your level. Some streaming services even have sections specifically for family movies, which are often beginner-friendly. Step 5. Gradual progression. As you get more comfortable, challenge yourself with movies that have more complex dialogue or themes. But remember, you don't have to understand everything on the first try. Even catching small parts of the conversation means you're learning and improving. The right movie isn't just entertaining, it becomes your classroom. Once you've chosen the movie, it's time to focus on how to watch it in a way that maximizes your learning. In the next section, we'll explore active watching techniques. Active watching techniques. Watching a movie is fun, but watching actively is where the real magic happens. Let's dive into some techniques that turn a simple movie night into a powerful English lesson. Step 1. Pause and replay sections. Imagine you hear a line, but it's too fast, where the accent throws you off. What do? Pause, rewind, replay. Don't rush through the movie. Take your time to focus on sections you find challenging. For example, if a character says, You've got to be kidding me, and you're unsure what it means. Pause, listen again, and try to mimic their pronunciation. Understanding just one phrase like this can build your confidence and vocabulary. Step 2. Use subtitles strategically. Subtitles are like a safety net. At first, you can use subtitles in your native language to understand the context, but as you grow, switch to English subtitles. This helps you connect spoken and written English. Here's a challenge for intermediate learners. Watch a scene without subtitles first, then replay it with subtitles to check how much you understood. Repeat this process until you can follow without help. Step 3. Note down new words and phrases. Keep a notebook or a digital tool nearby. Whenever you hear a new word or phrase, write it down. For example, if you watch Finding Nemo, you might hear current, meaning the flow of water, anemone, Nemo's home. Next to the word, jot down its meaning and how it's used in the sentence. Then practice saying it aloud to solidify your understanding. Step 4. Focus on pronunciation and intonation. Listen carefully to how the characters speak. Notice the rhythm, the stress on certain words, and the natural flow of the conversation. Then repeat their lines aloud, imitating their tone and pronunciation. This practice will make your spoken English sound more natural. For example, listen to how characters greet each other in casual conversations. "Hey, what's up? How's it going?" Try saying these yourself and use them in real-life situations. Step 5. Practice shadowing. Shadowing is when you listen to a character's line and immediately repeat it, trying to match their tone and speed. It's like karaoke but with English dialogue. 2 short, manageable lines at first. Let's say a character says, "I'll meet you at the coffee shop at 3." Pause, repeat after them, and mimic their pace and intonation. Do this a few times, and you'll notice improvement in both speaking and listening. Step 6. Reflect on each scene. After watching a scene, pause and think. What happened? What new words did I learn? Can I summarize it in 1 or 2 sentences? This practice reinforces comprehension and helps you actively engage with the content. Step 7. Take breaks when needed. Learning through movies should be enjoyable, not stressful. If you feel overwhelmed by a long movie or fast dialogue, take a break. Watching shorter segments in 10 to 15-minute intervals can help you absorb information better. What's next? By actively watching, you're not just a passive viewer. You're a language learner, taking charge of your growth. Once you've mastered these techniques, it's time to take what you've learned and put it into practice in your daily life. From movie to mastery, putting knowledge into practice. Now that you've learned how to watch movies actively, it's time to use that knowledge. Watching a movie is just the first step. The real learning begins when you practice what you've observed and heard. Let's explore how to turn your movie experience into mastery. Practice speaking the lines you hear. Movies are full of natural conversations. Use these dialogues to practice speaking. Start by choosing short and simple lines that match everyday situations. For example, "Can you pass me the salt?" "I'm running late." "See you soon." Say these lines out loud, focus on pronunciation, speed, and intonation. If a character says, "I don't know what to do," practice mimicking not just the words, but also the feeling behind the line. Once you feel comfortable, try these phrases in real conversations. Summarize the plot. After watching the movie, or even just a scene, practice summarizing the events in English. Ask yourself, what happened? Who were the main characters? Why did they do what they did? For example, if you watch The Lion King, your summary could be, Simba, a young lion, grows up to take back his kingdom from Scar, his uncle. Practice explaining the plot to a friend or writing it in a notebook. This boosts your ability to describe events and enhances your vocabulary. Discuss the character's motivations. Movies are not just about actions, they're about reasons. Ask yourself, what did the character say or do? What do they feel? This encourages deeper thinking in English. For example, if a character says, "I just want to be understood," think about what might make them feel that way. Then discuss or write about it in your own words. Write down your favorite quotes. Movies are full of memorable lines. Keep a collection of quotes you find interesting or meaningful. Write them down, and then think about how you can use them in real-life conversations. For instance, a line like, "Every great dream begins with a dreamer," could inspire you and teach you about sin and structure at the same time. Engage in discussions. Talk to friends, classmates, or even online communities about the movie. Share your thoughts about the story, characters, and what you learned. Ask questions like, what did you think of the main character's decisions? What part of the movie did you find most exciting? These discussions build your confidence in speaking English and expose you to different perspectives. Write your own review. Once you've watched and analyzed a movie, challenge yourself to write a review. Include the movie's title and genre, a brief summary of the story, what you liked or didn't like. For example, I watch Finding Nemo, an animated movie. It's got a clownfish named Marlin searching for his son. I like the adventure and the humor. It was easy to understand and perfect for learning English. Repeat and build on what you've learned. Rewatch the same movie or scenes after a few weeks to see how much you've improved. You'll notice you understand more and speak with greater confidence. Beyond the screen, sustaining your learning journey. Movies are an excellent tool, but learning English is a continuous process. To keep improving, you need to go beyond the screen. Let's discuss how to sustain your learning journey while having fun and exploring more of the English-speaking world. Gradually increase the difficulty of movies you watch. Start with movies that have simple, clear dialogue, but don't stay there forever. As you improve, challenge yourself with movies that use complex language or have fast-paced conversations. For example, begin with animated movies or family comedies. Example, Toy Story or Shrek. Move to drama or adventure films with deeper dialogue. Example, The Pursuit of Happiness or Jurassic Park. Eventually, try classics or movies with rich vocabulary. Example, Pride and Prejudice or Forrest Gump. Pushing your limits helps you grow your listening and comprehension skills. Explore English-speaking cultures through movies. Movies are a window into different cultures. By watching films from various English-speaking countries, you can understand accents, traditions, and phrases unique to each region. Turn watching into a habit. Make watching movies part of your routine. It could be one movie every weekend, watching one scene daily and analyzing it, taking 30 minutes to practice lines from a movie you've seen. Consistency matters. The more you engage with English, the more natural it becomes. Continue expanding your vocabulary while watching movies. You'll encounter many new words. Keep a note, notebook, or use a digital app to record these words every week. Review them and try to use them in sentences. For example, if you learn the word resilient from a movie, write sentences like, "She is resilient because she never gives up." Practice these words regularly to make them a permanent part of your vocabulary. Incorporate other media. Movies are great, but don't stop there. Combine your movie learning with other media, such as TV shows for consistent exposure to English over a series of episodes, podcast for listening to English on the go, YouTube videos, or tutorials for short and focused lessons. By diversifying your input, you'll learn faster and enjoy the process more. Join a movie discussion group. Find people online, or in your local community who enjoy movies. Join forums, social media groups, or clubs where you can share insights and practice your English. For example, you could ask questions like, "What did you think of the ending? Who is your favorite character and why?" Engaging in these conversations helps you practice English naturally. Don't be afraid of mistakes. As you experiment with new phrases or ideas from movies, you might make errors. Remember, that's a natural part of learning. Mistakes mean you're trying and growing. Celebrate your progress rather than focusing on being perfect. Learning should be enjoyable. After completing a challenging movie, treat yourself. This could be watching a light-hearted movie you love, trying food or activities inspired by the culture in the film, simply giving yourself a break and relaxing. Rewarding your hard work motivates you to continue your journey. Movies are an incredible way to learn English, but they're just the beginning. By turning this habit into a lifestyle, exploring diverse cultures and challenging yourself, you'll develop not only fluency, but also a deeper appreciation for the language. Keep going. Your English journey is full of exciting possibilities. Hello, everyone. Have you ever been in a situation where you understand English perfectly well when listening or reading, but when it's time to speak, the words just don't come out? You freeze, or maybe you say something but feel unsure if it's correct. If this sounds like you, don't worry. You are not alone. This is a common challenge for many people learning English, and the good news is that there are specific reasons for this and clear ways to overcome it. In today's video, we'll dive into why understanding English is much easier than speaking it, and most importantly, how you can bridge the gap between the two. By the end of this video, you'll have practical tips to start building your speaking confidence and fluency. Let's get started. Reason 1: Passive versus active learning. One of the biggest reasons you can understand English but struggle to speak it is the difference between passive learning and active learning. Let me explain. When you listen to English or read something in English, you're practicing passive skills. These are activities where you consume the language, like watching movies, listening to podcasts, or reading books. They help your brain recognize words, phrases, and grammar patterns over time. This makes it easier for you to understand when others speak, but speaking English is an active skill. This means you have to take what you've learned passively and use it in real time when speaking. Your brain has to do several things at once: recall the right words and phrases, put them into the correct sentence structure, pronounce them clearly, do all this quickly while maintaining confidence. If you focus mostly on passive learning and don't practice speaking, your brain won't be trained to handle the pressure of using English in real-life situations. Think of it like this. Understanding English is like watching someone else ride a bicycle. You might know how they do it, but unless you get on the bike and practice, you'll never learn to ride it yourself. So, what's the solution? Start balancing your passive learning with active learning. Begin practicing simple conversations, repeating sentences out loud, and finding opportunities to use the language. This shift from passive to active practice is the first step to building your speaking confidence. Reason 2. Fear of making mistakes. Another common reason people can understand English but can't speak it is the fear of making mistakes. This fear can hold you back from even trying to speak. Let's dive deeper into this. Why do we fear mistakes? Mistakes can make us feel embarrassed or shy, especially if we're talking to someone who speaks English fluently. Thoughts like, "What if I say it wrong?" or "What if they laugh at me?" often run through our minds. This fear can become so strong that we prefer staying silent. But let me tell you something important. Making mistakes is a natural part of learning. Think about when you learn to ride a bike or play a new game. Did you get everything right the first time? Of course not. Learning English works the same way. Even native speakers make mistakes. Yes, even native English speakers, ERS, make mistakes. They forget words, mix up sentences, or say something incorrectly. And guess what? Nobody really minds. People understand that mistakes happen, especially when someone is learning a new language. How to overcome this fear? Here are some tips to help you push past the fear of making mistakes. Focus on communication, not perfection. The goal is to express your ideas, even if your grammar isn't perfect. If people understand you, that's a success. Start small. Begin by speaking to people you trust, like friends, teachers, or even yourself in the mirror. It's less scary and a good way to build confidence. Celebrate your effort every time you speak English, no matter how small. Give yourself credit. Remember, every word you say brings you closer to fluency. Mistakes are not a sign of failure. They are signs of progress. Each mistake teaches you something new and helps you grow. So next time you feel scared to speak English, remind yourself, it's okay to make mistakes. They're part of the journey to becoming a confident English speaker. Reason 3. Lack of speaking practice. Another big reason why people can understand English but struggle to speak. It is a lack of speaking practice. Think about this. You get better at any skill by doing it. If you don't practice speaking English regularly, it will be hard to improve. Why is speaking practice so important? Speaking activates different parts of your brain compared to listening or reading. It helps you recall words faster. Regular speaking makes it easier to find the right words, improve pronunciation. The more you say words aloud, the clearer and more natural they'll sound. Gain confidence. The more you practice, the less nervous you'll feel about speaking. Without consistent speaking, your English stays in your head. You might understand words and sentences when others speak, but forming your own sentences becomes a challenge. Why don't people practice speaking? No one to talk to. Many learners don't have someone to practice with. Shyness. Some learners feel awkward or embarrassed to speak English in front of others. Time. It's easier to listen to a podcast or watch a movie than it is to arrange speaking practice. How to practice speaking more. Talk to yourself. You don't need a partner to practice. Describe your day, repeat sentences from TV shows, or think aloud in English. Use apps. Many language apps connect you with speaking partners or provide speaking exercises. Find a language partner, join an online language exchange group, or find a friend learning your language who can help you practice. Imitate what you hear. Listen to native speakers in movies or videos. Pause and repeat what they say. Focus on mimicking their tone and rhythm. Join speaking groups. Many local or online groups gather for English conversation practice. These can be fun and relaxed spaces to build your skills. The more you practice, the easier it gets. Think of learning English as building a muscle. You wouldn't expect to get stronger by just reading about exercises. You need to hit the gym. Speaking is your English gym. Practice regularly, even if it's just a few minutes a day, and you'll start to notice progress in how easily the words come to you. It's not about being perfect, it's about building a habit. Start small, be consistent, and watch your speaking skills grow. How to fix it. Now that we understand the reasons why you might struggle to speak English, let's talk about solutions. The good news is it's never too late to improve. Here's how you can take action and start speaking English with confidence. Switch from passive to active learning. Set a goal for each lesson. Don't just watch a video or read a book. Aim to use what you've learned in a conversation. For example, if you learn new vocabulary about food, practice ordering a meal in English. Summarize what you hear after listening to an English podcast or watching a movie. Take 2 to 3 minutes to explain the plot or main ideas. Aloud. Overcome the fear of mistakes. Practice in private. Start by speaking to yourself. It removes the pressure of an audience. Describe your surroundings. Share your thoughts, or repeat sentences from a TV show. Focus on communication. Remember, the goal is to be understood, not to be perfect. Even native speakers make mistakes. Record yourself. Use your phone to record your voice, listen back to it, and you'll realize mistakes are opportunities to learn, not something to fear. Make speaking a daily habit, daily conversations. If you can set aside 10 to 15 minutes daily to speak in English, this can be with a language partner, a teacher, or even yourself. Role-playing. Imagine real-life scenarios like ordering food, asking for directions, or introducing yourself. Practice those situations until they feel natural. Shadowing. Choose a podcast, YouTube video, or TV show with clear English. Listen to a sentence, then pause and repeat, trying to match the speaker's tone and rhythm. Get a speaking partner. Join online groups, platforms like language exchange apps, or social media groups. Make it easy to find people to practice with. Create a support network. Ask friends or family who know English to practice with you. Even 5 minutes a day can help. Use technology to your advantage. Apps for speaking. Language apps now have interactive speaking exercises with instant feedback. Some examples are Duolingo, HelloTalk, and Speak. AI tools, virtual assistants like Siri or Alexa, are great for practicing conversational skills. You can ask them questions or answer their prompts. Practice speaking anywhere, anytime. You don't have to wait for a formal class to practice. Talk to yourself in the shower, think in English while shopping, or rehearse conversations before a meeting or trip. Example. When you see something interesting, describe it in English. If you're at a cafe, mentally order your coffee in English before speaking it aloud. Be patient and persistent. Improvement takes time, but the more you practice speaking, the faster you'll see results. Start small, maybe with just a few sentences a day, and gradually build your confidence. Speaking English isn't about being flawless. It's about communication. You're learning step by step, and every effort you make brings you closer to your goal. Keep practicing, and soon you'll speak with clarity and confidence. Speaking English. English can feel challenging, but remember, it's a journey, not a race. Every step you take, no matter how small, brings you closer to fluency. It's not about avoiding mistakes, it's about learning from them and growing every day. You've learned the main reasons why understanding English feels easier than speaking it, like focusing too much on passive learning or being afraid of making mistakes. More importantly, you now know how to fix these challenges. Practice actively, overcome fear, and make speaking a daily habit. What you can do next. Set a goal for today. Start simple. Maybe it's introducing yourself in English or describing your day out loud. Join the conversation, practice with a friend, a teacher, or in online communities. Don't wait for the perfect moment. It doesn't exist. Keep watching. Explore more tips and techniques on this channel to take your English to the next level. If you're ready to improve your speaking skills, here's your challenge. Practice one new speaking activity today. Comment below what you'll do first, role-playing, shadowing, or talking to yourself. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel for more tips and tricks. Together, we'll reach your English speaking goals. Thank you for watching. Now go and start speaking confidently. Best story for listening. Listen carefully. Chapter 1. Waking up and getting ready. Jack is a 15-year-old boy who lives in a small, quiet town. His school day starts early at 6:30 a.m. His alarm clock rings and he wakes up. He stretches in bed and yawns loudly. The sun is just starting to rise, and soft light fills his room. Jack gets out of bed and walks to the bathroom. He brushes his teeth with mini toothpaste and washes his face with cold water to wake up fully. Then he goes back to his room to change into his school uniform. A white shirt, maybe blue pants, and black shoes. Downstairs, Jack's mom is already in the kitchen. She has prepared breakfast, scrambled eggs, toast, and a glass of orange juice. Jack sits at the table and eats quickly. "Good morning, Mom," he says with a smile. After breakfast, Jack packs his school bag. He makes sure he has all his books, notebooks, and a lunchbox with a sandwich and an apple. At 7:15 a.m., Jack grabs his backpack, puts on his coat, and waves goodbye to his mom. "Have a good day at school," she says. Jack heads to the bus stop, where a few of his friends are already waiting. They chat about the latest video games and soccer matches. When the school bus arrives, Jack climbs aboard, finds a seat near the window, and watches the streets pass by as they head to school. His day has officially begun, and he feels ready for everything that's ahead. Chapter 2. Morning Classes. At 8 a.m., the school bell rings, and Jack walks into his first class of the day, math. He sits in the middle row between his friends, Sarah and Liam. Their teacher, Mr. Evans, writes equations on the board. Jack listens carefully as Mr. Evans explains a new topic: fractions. Jack likes math, so he enjoys solving problems during the lesson. He raises his hand to answer a question. "Good job, Jack," says Mr. Evans. That little encouragement makes Jack smile. After math, Jack heads to his English class. This is his favorite subject because he loves reading and writing stories. Today, they're learning about describing characters. The teacher, Miss Brown, asked the students to describe their favorite book characters. Jack talks about a brave detective from a mystery novel he recently read. During a short break between classes, Jack and his classmates gather in the hallway. They talk and laugh while having a quick snack. Jack eats a granola bar from his pocket. The energy in the hallway is lively as everyone prepares for the next class. The last morning class is science. They are studying plants today. The teacher, Mrs. Carter, brings in small pots of plants to show the parts of a flower. Jack and his partner Liam carefully observe the petals and stem. "This is pretty cool," Liam whispers to Jack, who nods in agreement. By the time the lunch bell rings at 12 p.m., Jack is both hungry and excited for a break. The morning flew by, filled with lessons and fun discussions. He packs his books and heads to the cafeteria with his friends. Chapter 3. Lunchtime and Afternoon Classes. At 12 p.m., Jack and his friends head to the cafeteria for lunch. The cafeteria is filled with the sound of laughter and chatter as students line up to get their food. Jack grabs a tray and chooses his lunch: a chicken sandwich, an apple, and a carton of milk. He spots Sarah and Liam waving at him from their usual table near the window. The group quickly settles into their seats and starts talking about their morning. Sarah mentions how she struggled with a math problem, and Jack offers to explain it after school. Liam jokes about his drawing in science class that ended up looking more like a monster than a flower, making everyone laugh. "Are you ready for PE this afternoon?" Sarah asks. Jack nods enthusiastically. "I hope we play basketball today," he says. Lunch flies by as they continue chatting and sharing stories. Before they know it, the bell rings, signaling the start of afternoon classes. Jack's first class after lunch is history. Mr. Green, the teacher, greets the students with a warm smile. Today's lesson is about ancient Egypt, and Mr. Green shows a short video about the pyramids. Jack finds the topic fascinating and imagines what life must have been like thousands of years ago. At the end of the lesson, the class discusses the video, and Jack shares his thoughts about the engineering skills needed to build the pyramids. Next, it's time for physical education, P, one of Jack's favorite parts of the day in the gym. The PE teacher, Coach Harris, announces they will play basketball. The students split into teams, and Jack is excited to be on the same team as Liam. They spend the next 45 minutes running up and down the court, passing the ball, and cheering each other on. Jack scores a basket, and his teammates high-five him. Even though their team doesn't win, everyone has fun, and the gym is filled with laughter and energy. After PE, Jack heads to his final class of the day, art. He feels a bit tired from running in the gym, but is excited to relax and be creative. Today, the art teacher, M. Lopez, gives the class a fun project, creating a landscape painting. Jack chooses to paint a peaceful sunset over a lake, blending oranges, pinks, and blues on his canvas as the class works. Soft music plays in the background, making the room feel calm and focused. Miss Lopez walks around, giving tips and encouraging the students. She stops by Jack's desk and compliments his use of colors. "That's a very serene scene, Jack," she says. He feels proud and motivated to finish the painting by the end of the school day. At 3 p.m., Jack feels accomplished and happy. He gathers his things, says goodbye to his friends, and heads outside to wait for the school bus. The sun is still shining, and a gentle breeze rustles the leaves on the trees. As Jack boards the bus, he feels grateful for another good day at school. Chapter 4. Evening at Home. Jack arrives home at 3:30 p.m. and is greeted by his mom at the door. "How was school today, Jack?" she asked with a warm smile. "It was great. We learned about ancient Egypt, played basketball in PE, and I started a new painting in art class," Jack replies enthusiastically. He places his backpack on a chair and heads to the kitchen for a snack. He chooses a banana and a glass of orange juice, then sits at the table, telling his mom more about his day. She listens carefully, asking questions about the classes he enjoyed and his upcoming assignments. At 4 p.m., Jack moves to his room to do homework. He organizes his desk and takes out his notebooks. First, he works on his math problems, carefully solving each equation and checking his answers. Next, he writes a short essay about the pyramids for history class, using the notes he took earlier. While working, he listens to some relaxing music, which helps him focus. After finishing his homework, Jack takes a break. He grabs his basketball and heads outside to shoot some hoops in the driveway. The evening air is cool and refreshing, and Jack enjoys practicing his free throws and layups. Occasionally, he looks up at the sky, where the first stars of the evening begin to appear. At 6 p.m., it's dinner time. The family gathers around the dining table, where Jack's mom has prepared spaghetti with meatballs, one of his favorite meals. Jack shares stories about his day while his younger sister talks about her art project from kindergarten. His dad joins the conversation, asking Jack about his basketball game in our class. After dinner, Jack helps clear the table and wash the dishes, working alongside his mom. When the kitchen is clean, he heads to the living room, where the family decides to watch a movie together. They pick a light-hearted comedy, and the room fills with laughter as they enjoy the funny moments. Jack feels relaxed and happy, knowing he doesn't have to wake up early the next morning since it's the weekend. At 9 p.m., it's time for Jack to start winding down. He brushes his teeth, changes into his pajamas, and reads a book before bed. He's currently reading a mystery novel and enjoys imagining himself as the main character, solving clues and uncovering secrets. Finally, at 9:45 p.m., Jack turns off the light and lies in bed as he looks at the glowing dark stars on his ceiling. He thinks about the good day he had. Tomorrow, he plans to work on his painting, play basketball with his friends, and relax with his family. Feeling content and sleepy, Jack closes his eyes and drifts off to sleep, ready for another fun and productive day.